Wonder Woman issue number 15. That's right, folks. We're kind of starting a new arc in terms of like this story. We're still dealing with like the King of America and like the Sovereign and all that. But we're entering a new era. It's all in. DC's all in or something. You know, it's a new time to be alive. Wonder Woman may be more popular now than she's been in a minute. Absolute Wonder Woman is doing gangbusters for that character. And if you're excited about that book, this one is doing stuff different than that. Very different. She wasn't born in hell here, but hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, you know? Sorry I said that. Whatever, let's move on. This is a great book. Just like a classic Tom King book, it takes itself into two separate storylines, like somebody narrating, the visuals are different, and then like another thing is happening. Classic Tom King stuff. And when it doesn't work for Batman, it works for Wonder Woman for some reason. I can't explain it. That just happens. But here you go. We're doing Wonder Woman 15. At the end of the last issue, we saw the birth of Trinity. Little baby was born, Elizabeth Marsden, and Diana's singing to her baby because it's crying. It's like, you know, 5 little princesses jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped her head. Mommy called the goddess, and the goddess said, "No more princesses jumping on the bed." And that's going to be throughout the whole book. Diana is like soothing her baby. So we don't really have to talk about that much because the rest of this book is narration from the King of America. And he's like, I hate her so much. We're not like trusting in a lot of people. Like we have certain things that we do to maintain our power. And one of those things is how we like acquire money. So over like the course of centuries and decades and everything, we got a lot of money. We put a lot of our money onto a big boat that's sailing in the middle of the ocean. It has no government, no flag, no crew. It's just a big boat with all of our resources attached to it. And we see Cassie, Wonder Girl, gonna go blow it up. It's fun. So they're shooting like a bunch of missiles at her. She's just in a normal ship, like a normal jet or something, crashes it into the side, blows it up. And you see the King of America's like, I don't know how that happened, but it happened, and it's stupid and annoying, but God forbid. That was our legacy. And she just blew it up for nothing. And the Cassie's flying like, oh yeah, this is the first little princess. I bumped my head, and the ship is sinking. Diana's like singing again. Now there's 4 little princesses, and the baby's still crying. We then cut to Yara, because this is the next thing going on. They're not going to put all their money on one ship. That would be ridiculous. They have accounts all over the country, and they have like one asset that's in like a huge bank somewhere where they have a lot of like their wealth. So Yara goes to that bank, and she's like, hey, I'd like to make a deposit. Nothing crazy. I'm not robbing you or anything. I just want like a couple specific gems and stuff, big money objects from like your big business partners. She threatens the guy working there. He calls security. She's like, all right, well, this is going to be fun then, beating up a cop. I have nothing wrong with that. So Yara takes down the cop. She's like, all right, this could go one of 2 ways. You could let me into the vault, let me take what I want, and then I won't hurt you. I love it. Like, oh, it's so good. Like, we're not doing anything with Yara anymore, so have her and be like the kind of like flirty, sadistic one. It works for me. And the King of America's narration is just like, they took down the ship, but there's no way they'd go against like law enforcement. And they did. She never flinched. She just took it. It was really annoying. She took down 17 banks in 9 states. The police show up to fight her. She's like, I don't care. I'll fight you all. All right. Now there's 3 little princesses jumping on the bed. And you see the baby chewing on the lasso, just calming down. So you get the trend. You see where we're going with this. More narration from the Sovereign. And he's like, all right, well, we had an alternative to those alternatives if something went bad. This time we entrusted it into like a true player of power who could do something great. We see Donna Troy, and she's fighting Solomon Grundy, and he's like, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, and she's like, yeah, I get it. It's fine. The reason they chose Solomon Grundy is because he has no affiliation. He doesn't care. Like, every time something bad happens to him, he just like respawns and comes back to life. He's the perfect person for us to hold like our most sacred object. Like, he could just come back. It was like a 67 carats of brilliance. Like, it's worth more than the entire state of Rhode Island. Like, one of the most expensive things to ever live in America is being guarded by Solomon Grundy. And the thing is, every time he got captured or something, we would just free him. That's what we could do. So he was the perfect soldier. We didn't have to like pay him or like give him like a hideout or like demands or anything. we would just free him if something happened, and he would just hold on to a thing we need from him. So the entire time that's going on, Donna Troy's just punching him, and she's like, you're not saying it again. All right? I know, you're pulling out on Monday, that's great. But Tuesday, I don't really care about Tuesday. So she literally takes out a knife, cuts into his chest, and takes out the precious diamond that they need. The third princess has bumped her head. And the King of America's like, I cannot believe what is happening. Every time he lost it, he would swallow it and swallow it and swallow it because it's in the belly of a beast. Who's going to find it in the belly of a beast? Who? Oh, Donna Troy. So, yeah. A jewel worth more than the state of Rhode Island was inside Solomon Grundy, and Donna Troy cut it out of him. Something I've never thought I would say about a Wonder Woman book is that line. It goes without saying, but I will say it again. Daniel Sampere's art is so good. It's so awesome to see this. I'm so glad he's still on the book. So much fun. I have so much fun with this book. And now we got two little princesses jumping on the bed. And the baby starts crying as soon as it hits, the pillow. So Diana's like, okay, mommy's going to protect you now. So those are the Wonder Girls. Who is going to be the next princess we deal with? Well, look, we had a huge ship. We put all of our money in. We had gems and money and stacks of cash all across the states. We had a big jewel inside a zombie. But sometimes you have to move stuff through stocks and bonds and currency holdings and land speculations. We were very fluid. We weren't just physical cash sums of money. We were fluid. So we had a guy. Just a guy who could help us. He was a normal man. His name was Alex Spellman. And we see Alex Spellman, he met a girl online. He's excited to meet her in a hotel in Central City. And he's so excited. He's like, oh, I'm excited. Always a good thing to meet new people, baby. What are we going to do? So he opens the door to this hotel. And it's Cheetah. She's on the bed hey, lover. And he's like, he's a good man. He was a reliable man, a solid man. We were in touch with him daily. He helped us through all the stuff. He gave us stocks and everything. Well, Cheetah mauled him. We see Cheetah maul him. I don't know. She doesn't kill him, I don't think. No, because he says some stuff at the end. And you're like, hey there. Yeah, it's the fourth princess. She's cleaning the blood off her finger. She's like, yeah, I bumped my furry little head. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. That's funny. That's so much fun. And we get the final piece of narration from the king, and he's like, I don't know how she kept doing this. How did she learn to rip everything from our bosom? I didn't know until we learned the truth. That it was your father, Trinity, it was your father, Steve Trevor, who, was illegally, immorally using his U.S. intelligence to investigate us, and he gave her all the information before he died. That asshole. A man betrayed us for a woman? Unreal. How stupid is a man to betray us for a girl? And we see Diana finishes singing her song, and she's on the throne with her little baby, because she did it. There's no more princesses jumping on the bed. Oh, so cool. So cool. It's so much fun. This is a really solid issue. Let's get all the characters in here. We'll take some money from a rich prick. What more do you want? I love this new era that's kind of going on in terms of DC with their Trinity characters. It's very prevalent in Absolute. But even here, it's champion of the oppressed being a key thing. Let's take the money from a rich prick who thinks he owns the world. I love that. I love that angle for this character. It's so much fun. Diana's mother now, we're all very excited. But we do get a backup story. This time it's all about Steve Trevor. Elysium. So we just see through his POV, him sitting in Salvation, and he's having a bum time. Talking to a fellow soldier, he's like, yeah, that's what the war does. He's like, you don't look good, dude, what's up? He's having a nice dinner with the gods, and they're like, is it Hippolyta? I think it might be Hippolyta. And he's like, come on, have it. And he's like, this sucks. He sees his grandmother, and she's like, oh, it's so good to see you. Look at you, you've been happy all these years. This is where you belong. And he starts crying. She's like, don't cry. He's fighting a big soldier and a creature. He shoots it dead, and he's like, that's awesome. He has to the grand library, and then the bookkeeper's like, you seem very depressed for a guy who's dead, but you keep checking out the same book. What's going on with you? He has sex with a beautiful woman, but he leaves before he does the act. Walks through everything. He has dinner with his comrades from the war, and they're toasting to him, but he's just not happy. And then we get the final page where he's in front of Hippolyta, this is your reward for a life well lived. Like, you had a worthy death of the gods, and now you're in, like, a happy place. Why are you so miserable? What are you mourning? You have attained paradise. What more could you possibly desire? And then the final word of the book is just her. Because Wonder Woman is greater than paradise. Beautiful. Beautiful end to the book. I really dig that. This issue rocks. I'm sorry. It's good. It's so much fun. It's angry. It's aggressive. It's rebellious. It works for everything Tom King's about. And I appreciate when that happens sometimes. Because he could do it. King can still pull out some punches and do some good stuff in terms of like ongoing series. I'm sorry. He just can. Very excited for his Black Canary book coming out soon too. So, Wonder Woman, issue number 15. I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. And thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.